Hello, church family. I am excited because, as I hope you know by now, we will be reopening our worship service this Sunday, May 31st. We will have two services, one at 8:30 a.m. and one at 10:30 a.m. If I want to remind you before we get started with our devotional, if you have not responded to a survey that you should have received in the mail in our newsletter, letting us know what service you plan to attend, or if you plan to continue to worship with us online. If you have not responded to that and you do plan to attend, please contact us and let us know. You can call the church office and let us know. You can mail that survey back in to us. But please let us know if you plan to attend one of those services, just so that we can prepare for those services in a responsible way. Now, today I want to read to you from 1 John chapter 3. I want to do a recap on my sermon from this past Sunday. If you have not seen that, you can check it out on our Facebook page and also on our church's YouTube channel to watch that sermon. But my text from last Sunday was 1 John chapter 3, verses 4 through 10. And this is what he says: "Everyone who commits sin practices lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. You know that he was revealed so that he might take away sins, and in him there is no sin. Everyone who remains in him does not sin. Everyone who sins has not seen him or know him. Children, let no one deceive you. The one who does what is right is righteous, just as he is righteous. The one who commits sin is of the devil, for the devil has sinned from the beginning. The Son of God was revealed for this purpose, to destroy the devil's works. Everyone who's been born of God does not sin because his seed remains in him. He is not able to sin because he has been born of God. This is how God's children and the devil's children become obvious. Whoever does not do what is right is not of God, especially the one who does not love his brother or sister." Now, something that I mentioned in my sermon Sunday, and when people take a text like that, it often gets misinterpreted, and people think, well, what kind of a standard is John calling us to? Is he calling us to a standard of sinless perfection? He says that everyone who commits sin practices lawlessness, and then he says everyone who remains in him, talking about Jesus or Christians, does not sin. Is John saying that if you become a Christian, if you are a genuine Christian, that you never sin? And we know that's not the case, because earlier on in 1 John, John says that if we say we have no sins, then we make him a liar. We are deceiving ourselves. So it's not sinless perfection that John is calling us to. However, he is saying that as a style of life, your life should be characterized by the fruit of wanting to obey God, the fruit of living out the righteousness that Jesus calls us to. Now, we're never going to do that perfectly, never in this life. There are going to be times when we fail miserably. But we have to honestly examine our lives and see, if I examine my life and I look at the overall characterization of my life, do I have a genuine desire to want to honor and serve the Lord? Does my life bear fruit of that? Or when I look at my life, when I see the times that I have stepped off that path, when I have fallen into sin, do I feel nothing? Do I feel no conviction, no sorrow over my sin, no mourning over the sin in my life? And that's one of the things that I love about 1 John is it's so clear. Either you are saved or you're not. Either you're a believer or you're not. Either you're a child of God or you're a child of Satan. And sometimes John is just so blunt about it that as I'm reading 1 John and studying through this book, I almost just have to think, man, wow, that's straightforward. But the gospel is straightforward. Either you know Jesus Christ and your life bears fruit of that, or you don't. And I hope that as you examine your life, that you can say, certainly I'm not perfect by any means. I'm not completely sinless. There are times that I fail and I blow it miserably. But I hope that as you look at your life, that you can say that your life is characterized by a love and a desire to honor and serve the Lord, and that your life bears fruit of that.